Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger, and today I'm taking a look at the rework of Katarina, as I said I would, because I said I would, and that's that. I'm going to be going to mid lane with her, which is where I usually like to play her. I do play her in top lane occasionally too, but mid is the place to be with Katarina in my opinion. At level 1 I do take her Bouncing Blades, which I will say is better now. I mean, it's nice that it has its full duration of bounces at level 1 now, instead of having to get them over time, like how it used to be. So I will say that it is better, and it does leave that mark now, which you can consume on the enemy. So yes, I will say Bouncing Blade's a little bit better, and you know, we'll see how the rest goes from there. At level 1, I do take Boots and Pots because that's the thing to do with her for the most part, or at least that's what I like doing with her nowadays. The sustainability with the pots and the movement with the boots is very, very nice to have. At level 2, I do typically take her Shunpo. And, you know, it's just nice, obviously, to jump to the enemy, do some extra damage, and then you get that reduced damage after you jump to target location. So it's also very nice for that. And then at level 3, I typically take 1 point in her Sinister Steel, which is her new move, instead of her having Killer Instincts. And I will say that this is probably a little bit better than Killer Instincts, too, just kind of depending on the player. I never utilized Killer Instincts perfectly before, but I mean, I still knew how to use it, but I don't know, Sinister Steel's nice. It's got a pretty low cooldown, does decent damage, and it's definitely nice to have after you Shunpo over to him and just hit him with that real quick, and you get that increased movement speed after you hit an enemy champion. So that is nice to have with her. So for the most part, Bouncing Blades, Sinister Steel, and Shunpo, I think they're all fine. Things start to fall apart, though, when you get back to Death Lotus. For some reason, it just doesn't feel like you can blow up single target enemies as well as you used to be able to. She just doesn't feel like such a bursty assassin anymore. She still works fine, but it's just not quite the same. Here, Yi was trying to kill our jungler. He found him. Now we got Olaf closing in from top while I'm doing damage to Yi while he tries to run away. Olaf's going to hit him with a slow and get some lightning down. I'm going to spin real quick with my Sinister Steel and pick up First Blood, which is going to be very helpful. I had Soraka mid. Soraka mid, or Battle Raka, as some people call her when she goes AP mid. She does lots of damage because typically, you know, some of the champions that aren't supposed to be built that way have high AP ratios, and their items just, or their abilities really hurt when they use them. So it's just something that I had to be careful with early. I wasn't farming quite as well as I wanted to, and I have to kind of keep my distance because I'm not trying to feed. I mean, that's the main thing in this game. As long as you don't feed the enemy champions, you're going to stay in the game. So I'm just trying to farm my best and poke her when I can without letting her do tons of damage to me. And we're going to just be doing that to concentrate on not dying. So just went back to base, and I picked up the Hextech Revolver because I will be building that actually towards a Hextech Gunblade. I will not be going for the Will of the Ancients. Now, Will of the Ancients is fine. It got changed a few months ago, so it does cost a little bit more gold now. And it's still a really good item, but I actually like going with the Gunblade now because of the things that build, or the things that give damage to more of her abilities. Death Lotus and Sinister Steel, they also get more damage if you get attack damage items as well. So you can get some attack damage items, such as with the Gunblade, and it'll also increase the damage on Death Lotus and Sinister Steel. So it's a nice way to round out, and then your physical attacks give you lifesteal. Here I'm getting into a little bit of a fight with her. I'm going to be able to kill her before she gets close to killing me. Probably stayed alive in that fight because of the Revolver, being able to get all of that spell vamp. So I'm going to be able to pick up a kill on her. So at this point, it's nice to know that I am able to kill Soraka without her doing crazy amounts of damage to me. Well, she did do good damage, but I'm able to kill her. So now I wouldn't say I'm ahead of her, but now I at least know I can do the damage to her. Last time I did go back, though, after that fight, I did finish off my boots. Went with the Magic Penetration boots. Pretty standard stuff right there. I know some people sometimes do cooldown, but we're trying to be bursty, so we're getting the Magic Pen so we can do all the damage that we can. And yeah, that's what we're doing. So obviously at level 6, take your Death Lotus so you can jump on him and spin to win. If you do not know, her passive is Veracity, and you get the cooldown reduction whenever you get a kill or an assist on all of your normal abilities, and then on your ultimate you get a 10-second cooldown reduction, I believe. So if you pick up some assists pretty quick, then you can have your ultimate back up pretty quick. And plus, it's only on about a 1-minute cooldown, so it's up pretty often. Do not be afraid to use it on champions, whether or not you're going to kill them. I think they say this in the champion spotlight with her. It'll be up faster than you think it will, because it's a 1-minute cooldown anyways. So don't be afraid to use your ultimate. It does damage. Why not? Here, I think they're going to kill Yi real quick. I'll pick up an assist on that. And hey, look, we're all bottom. And now we're going to actually move up towards the mid area because we saw Soraka kind of head down for a split second. We're going to try to look to see if we can find her. And right when we start to break up for a second, we actually are going to see her. And I'm going to actually move back in now. And I'm going to Shunpo over to her and use my ultimate and pick up another little quick kill, which is going to be nice for me. Get fed with Katarina. Always a good thing. Her ultimate does still scale really, really, really well in team fights. The damage amounts you can have. I had a really extreme late game with her the other day, and I had a full build and Baron, and my ult did over 2,400 damage, which is a lot. So, I mean, it was blowing people up, which was really fun. This game, it gets to that point too, but not quite that much damage. Back at base now, I had to teleport back here. I am getting more items to build towards my gunblade. We have, you know, the pickaxe, which is going to be nice, obviously, for just physical attacks, and then obviously it's going to be going towards the Death Lotus and the Sinister Steel. So, some of the nice things about that, which are nice. We're trying to push their mid lane in a little bit. I typically do take Summoner Flash and Summoner Ignite when I do play her, obviously, because having a little bit extra movement speed with the Flash or mobility is nice. Here I'm going to jump over to her and pick up a kill, which is also nice. I'm on a rampage now. And as for the masteries that I typically take with Katarina, I go with the 21-9-0. I get the 21 in the offensive tree, picking up everything that is AP-wise to increase my ability power damage as much as I can. Here I'm going to be moving in behind their Katarina and their Yi. Teemo just got there and he's starting to do damage. I'm going to jump in and spin, pick up an assist and a kill, which is going to be nice. And they're not even going to get this tower going and kill the minions before they can do it. So, they lose. Alright, so as for all the runes, or I mean masteries that I was talking about, and then with the 9 that I have in the defensive tree, I go with obviously a little bit of extra armor, magic resist, and I get that bonus health, which I think gives me 30 extra health at level 1, which is going to be good to have. Just a little bit of extra health, never a bad thing, so, especially since I'm not starting with any kind of items like a Doran's ring or a Doran's shield, so that extra life at level 1 is very good to have. Now, I was just back at base, and I did just finish off my Gunblade, so I'm going to be doing some decent damage because of the way everything scales with my abilities. Here I'm going to move out here and try to see if I can kill Soraka. I'm going to try to get to her. She's actually going to juke me, but juke me too soon, so I'm just going to turn around now. After I get silenced for a second, I have to wait. Now I'm going to Shunpo to her, Sinister Steel, Bouncing Blade, Ignite her, and wait a second. She pauses for a second, and that's going to leave her close enough so I can spin on her. I think she thought I was going to spin immediately. I waited a second and ended up picking up the kill. And here the Katarina could have killed me, but I think she was afraid about my cooldowns coming up, and yeah, she kind of makes a mistake there in not committing to a fight. She easily could have won, so that's fine by me. I will definitely take the easy getaway. But just remember, you can kill people if they have less life than you typically. So, that's pretty generic. Now here, I don't go back because I see their teams converging. And if I pick up an assist, I know Death Lotus will be up off of cooldown. So I'm going to jump in, or throw a Bouncing Blade in. Now I'm going to jump in. My ult's going to come up, and I'm going to start to spin. And I'm going to pick up a double kill and help the team out. I did not have much life there, and they didn't see me come in, really, because it was kind of a surprise. But you could kind of hang outside of fights and just chuck in a Bouncing Blade and just let somebody get a kill real quick. You'll get an assist and all your stuff will refresh. You can just keep chucking stuff in, really. So, as they said in the rework when they were showing her in the spotlight, you kind of have to be careful with when you commit to fights and how you jump into fights. Whether or not you're just like, I mean, you can jump into a fight as the first person if they have no CC or silences or anything, because then they won't be able to stop. But now in the game nowadays, with how many silences and everything this game has, you can't be the first one to jump into a fight that has more than basically 1 or 2 people into it. You're just going to get CC'd, and you're not going to be able to get your ultimate off all the way, and you're just going to get, crowd controlled. So you got to be really, really, really careful with that. So usually I like to try to let the team just start the fight, so then I can jump to them and then continue the fight to do the massive damage, because they kind of need to protect you as Katarina. Your main thing is you jump in there to do your Death Lotus to do as much damage as you can. If you jump in first and it gets canceled, you're gonna have a bad time. Here we're gonna move in. I do not have my ult up though. I'm gonna chuck in a Bouncing Blade and Shunpo and Sinister Steel whenever I can and all that fun stuff. I'm gonna pick up an assist, and that's gonna refresh stuff so I can jump around a little bit more. And my ult should come up in a second, but I think I'm gonna die. Yes, I am. But I did pick up a kill or something, so that's fine. The last time I did go back before that fight, though, I was building towards my next item, which is going to be Rylai's Crystal Scepter. The slows are going to be nice, too, so whenever anybody gets stuck by anything, Bouncing Blade, Shunpo, Sinister Steel, they're going to obviously have that slow on them, so when you Death Lotus, they won't be able to get out of it as fast, which is why I typically build that item on her. Another reason why I go with the Rylai's over Rod is because you don't need any of the mana from Rod. You're not mana-based, so you don't need that. So getting the AP and the health and the slow from the Rylai's Crystal Scepter is going to just be the item to get if you want some health and you want more damage and you want that slow. And that slow is, I mean, Rylai's is awesome for many reasons. Besides the part where you can use it to slow them down so they're stuck in all of your abilities longer, it's also great for getting away. If somebody's chasing you, chuck a Bouncing Blade at them and then they're going to get that slow attached to them. Here I think I'm going to chuck a Bouncing Blade and then Shunpo in and start to spin, I'm going to guess. That's typically the order you do that in. And I'm just going to, you know, do as much damage as I can. I don't know if I even get a kill there. No, I get one kill there, but, you know, tons of assists. So, it's very, very good to do some of that stuff. Oh, yeah, obviously you got to dance in the middle of the game. And then we're going to try to take this turret. But, yeah, Rylai's Crystal Scepter is going to be the health item that you're going to want to get if you want some of that sustain, which I typically get next because, I mean, the health is going to be nice. They're going to try to focus you. Now, here, I'm trying to jump in here to distract, try to get Malphite away safely. Here I get into a fight, I do ult. Now, I probably should die here. But she moves back for a second, I get my Ignite off on her, and then for some reason their jungler runs away. So once again, another case where I probably would have died if they would have committed to the fight. But since they didn't, I get a kill out of the deal and I get away for free. So it's fine by me. Once again, I'm not going to fight that. So I'm going to go back to base, finish off my Rylai's. Now I'm going to start building towards my next item, which will actually be my most damage that I probably get this game, which will be the Death Cap. Going to pick up the Blasting Wand that will start to build towards that. Then obviously I'll just need that needlessly large rod, and then we can finish off the Death Cap for the crazy amounts of damage that it will give me. So, doing pretty good though so far in this game. Nothing too bad happening, obviously. Doing all the damage that I can, getting all the slows off that I can. Here we got a little bit of a team type fight happening. I'm going to try to Shunpo in to start my spin. Get a kill on Soraka real quick. Start my spin right here. Pick up another few kills. Pick up the triple there. And then pick up the Quadra. Unfortunately, no Penta. Teemo killed Rengar, but that's okay. I'm already over it. But picking up the Quadra, we're going to try to move in on their base and do as much damage as we can real quick. Try to get this game kind of wrapped up for the most part. So yeah, the rework for Katarina is, I mean, it's better for people who probably weren't as good with her. There, I'm going to pick up a kill. I'm going to die real quick because I'm trying to protect my team. But I don't know. The rework is fine. I mean, some people really have a problem with it. I just don't like the part where her Death Lotus doesn't feel like it destroys people like it used to in a 1v1 situation. The sounds sound a little weird too on it. I don't know. I'm probably just being really weird now. And I mean, for the most part though, it still works. Obviously, I don't have any problems with her. I haven't had any problems with this really. Like, she still is just as viable as she was. Really, I don't really think they did anything to really make her a game changer. I mean, you can still do stuff like this and blow people up. And there's a double kill. Probably maybe a triple kill. I don't know. Does Kale get away? Nah, I think I only get a double kill here. But, you know, I mean, she still does plenty of damage. That's still there. So, that last time I was back, I did pick up the Death Cap, and then I did pick up a Amplifying Tome, which I will be building towards the next item I typically get. Now, sometimes I'll either just go for the Void Staff here, or I will be going for the Lich Bane. I think here I was going to be building towards the Lich Bane. Have that extra move speed is never a bad thing. A little bit of magic resist, and then obviously your next physical attack takes all of your AP and adds it to it. So you do tons of damage there. But we're pretty much going to wrap this game up. It's going to pretty much end. If you guys have any questions about my input on this, or any questions about the build or this game, go ahead and put those in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you have not. I would greatly appreciate it. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much going to round things out for this build, and I'll just see all of you in the next build video.